finally, one of the ones that I wanted to talk about, and this one got a lot of attention, was a $462 million verdict down in St. Louis, Missouri. And that was a lawsuit against the actual manufacturer of the trailer. And there was a number of things about that case, about that accident, that generated a lot of controversy and conversation. So first of all, and this is not necessarily uncommon in underride cases, oftentimes it can be the fault of the person that runs into the trailer. In this case, two young men in a car rear-ended the trailer. I don't know if it was stopped or just slowing down, but they ran into the back of this trailer and had one of these underride incidents, and both young men were killed. The verdict was controversial because you had two young men who were intoxicated, who by their own fault ran into the back of this truck and now were suing for damages. One of the things to keep in mind in these kinds of cases is the issue isn't generally about who caused the crash, because they understand that in these kinds of crashes, it may very well be the fault of the person that ran into the truck or trailer. But it's the fact that these types of injuries are foreseeable and preventable with things such as underride protection. Lewis' lawsuit was actually against the manufacturer, and in fact, one of the larger trailer manufacturers in the U.S., and it stemmed from the fact that they had sort of the old two-pillar design, which was all that was required under the regulations. But what they found in that case was this company had designed and had the ability to make the four-pillar design, which would have presumably held up. So these young men hit the back of the two-pillar underride guard or the Mansfield bars and still underrode it anyway. Whereas if they had put in the four-pillar one, it likely would have saved their lives. And the company knew about that and chose not to implement them, even though they knew it was safer and they knew it could be done because of the cost. And Ford was found during the lawsuit to have had knowledge of this risk and basically said, well, we think it's cheaper just to pay for the deaths of people and their injuries than to retrofit all these vehicles. It was more cost effective for Ford to do that. And that's kind of what happened in this case, is I think a lot of that was a punitive damage award on the grounds that the trailer manufacturer knew of the danger, had a way to avoid it, and chose not to do the better design to save money. And so punitive damages can be awarded in cases like this to punish companies that have the ability to do things safer and choose not to do them for financial reasons.